Hi again guys, and welcome to another replay cast. This time we have got AlexV, also known as AV Swag, part of the Mew clan, along with Fassive and IslanderJer here in their little tier 9 platoon on Overlord. Alex is in the T54E1, Islander the E50, and Fassive the 1390. Very nicely lined up there right at the start. And it's not exactly the best balanced tier 9 match that is possible. The enemy team have got all tier 9 heavies apart from one Skoda T50. That's in fact the only enemy medium tank. Friendly team has an E75, a T10, and then our heroes in the platoon here. Now this map is a bit notorious for everyone rushing down the beach here, which is generally one of the weakest flanks to go down. There are occasions when you can go down it. Maybe if you can see that everyone's like kind of clustered up here and camping, you can maybe get yourself around here and kill the arty before coming up, whereas most of the time it's pretty much just a dead zone and somewhere that you really shouldn't go. It takes your tank out of the match for quite a while. So Alex is creeping up to the ridge here, trying to get a shot on this 5120, and is he going to get it? Nope, Yep, that one bounced off a 5120. Most likely it hit the upper plate and ended up ricocheting away. And meanwhile, Fassive has headed off to Alex's right there and has encountered a platoon of two FCM-50Ts, and they both shot him in the face. And then there's also an LTTB, so now's the time for this Ferdinand and Jag-88 to actually do something. And, well, they are. As you can see, which is actually surprising, because the positions that those two TDs are in are not actually very good, because as you can see, the Ferdinand's lost most of his health already, and the Jag-88 won't be that far behind if he stays there. Meanwhile, Alex trying to get shots into the LTTB, one missed, well, and then the other two went in. So, unfortunately, that doesn't leave the LTTB with much health, but it does mean that Alex didn't get the kill either. If he had that fourth shell, or even the third, he might have been able to kill him. Meanwhile, the scores are not looking good. It's 4-2, 5-2 now, as the friendly Lova, who decided that the best course of action right at the start of the match was to go across the empty field in the middle, and then get tracked and shot to pieces by everything, and that's exactly what happened. Meanwhile, two enemy tanks have started creeping around the beach, a T10 and a Lova. They're not going to be much use for the enemy team. Meanwhile, this T10 decides that the best thing he can possibly do this match is drive in front of a fully loaded T54E1, lose most of his hit points, and then get himself into a position that's not exactly very useful, only to be killed by Fassive in his 1390. Meanwhile, friendly STR-VS1 is saying, oh, no one went to the beach? Well, of course not. The beach is the most useless flank on this map. Meanwhile, Alex is loading his last clip of AP shells, and he's onto the APCR. It's pretty characteristic of T54E1 drivers to carry a little bit of AP, but then a lot more APCR at the end, as this gun, it does seem a little bit derpy, and the pen isn't spectacular either. Does get the killing blow on that Scorpion there. Trying to get a shot on the 5120 now, but the 5120 is doing a good job of hiding himself. Meanwhile, Islander is getting himself onto the mid-ridge there of the little field, and Fassive has tried to work his way around to counter the Bulldog, or one of the M41s, but instead decides to go next to where Fassive is and just try and stay in cover for the moment until the opportunity arises where he can just go forward and unload his clip into something. Alex, meanwhile, looking for a shot on the 5100, not getting it. 5100 hiding behind the little pillbox. Well, it's not really a small pillbox, rather a large one. Meanwhile, Fassive has taken out one of the M41 Walker Bulldogs and then finishes off the 5120. And there's the 5100 there. Unfortunately, the Ferdinand is the one that kills Fassive. And the scores are now 9-11. Tin Hat's at the ready there, by the way. Does get 2 of his 4 shells in. Well, I think it was 3 shells there that he fired at the 5100 into the cupolas. Meanwhile, that Lova and the T10 that I was talking about, who went beach, yeah, they've actually managed to work their way round. Meanwhile, the Indian Panzer on the enemy, oh no, sorry, on the friendly team is trying to hide desperately from this VK4502B, and Islander is trying to keep the VK spotted. Meanwhile, Alex is trying to deal with the T10 and the Lova, who have entered the cap circle. There's the T10. That shot bounces off the side, and that one also. But then the third one goes in, and Russian black hole spaced armor at its finest there, and gets his last shot of that clip into the side of the Lova, while Islander just shoots the Lova in the face. Does not get the killing blow, at least not yet. There it is. Now it's just down to the Ferdinand, the VK, and the Scorpion G on the enemy team, and now it's just Islander and Alex on the friendly team. Alex just finishing off the reload of his next clip. Now the biggest threat here is actually the VK4502. The Scorpion can be a bit of a threat as well, but they're fairly sure they know exactly where the Ferdinand is going to be, so they're not too worried about him just now. But as you can see, there's the VK, still in the middle of the map, not too far from where he was last spotted. And that was quite a big hit that he put in. That was a high roll for 517, when this is a 490 alpha gun. Now you might say Alex got lucky in that one with that low roll, but that's still just under 490 damage there, which you don't really want to be getting shot by very much. Islander also taking a shot there, and putting a couple of shots back into the VK in return. Meanwhile, the VK is rushing Alex down. Alex bouncing 2 of his shots and missing the third. Meanwhile, the Islander's worked his way around and he's distracting the VK and puts a shot of his own in, as well as Alex putting one into the cupola. Now there's the Scorpion G, trying to get another shot on Alex, but Alex putting the little wrecked farmhouse, well, more like a barn, in the way. Meanwhile, Islander has managed to finish off the VK. Now it's just down to the Scorpion and the Ferdinand on the enemy team, both of whom have 128mm guns with 490 alpha. You don't really want to be getting shot by that. And Islander just took another one, although it looks like it bounced as he was still pretty healthy there. And now that there's no way the Scorpion's going to survive here, not against an autoloader and an E50. Even though the E50 that Islander is driving has the crazy long 88mm L100 gun, which is a very good gun. It's the gun that's been put on the Panther II as the top gun with the last couple of patches. Accurate gun, decent penetration, 240 alpha, which is not... The alpha damage isn't great at tier 9, but the gun does get good gun handling on the E50 and pretty damn good rate of fire when compared to the Panther II. And there's the Ferdinand. Yes, he was redline sniping the whole match. Alex taking the time to aim up, gets a shot through the front, and a second one that looks like it went in as well. Meanwhile, Islander just shooting at where he last saw the Ferdinand. Alex moving up to try and get a better spot on the Ferdinand. However, doesn't see him, and is not really wanting to poke out too much anyway. That's his 128mm gun, remember, and he is not particularly healthy right now. He can't really afford to be taking any hits. And then Fassive gets the idea that the Ferdinand has in fact dropped down off the edge, which definitely seems the case, as otherwise he may have been spotted. Now Alex has reloaded his clip and is ready to just put shots into the Ferdinand if he sees him. And nothing so far. Now this is a bit of a 50-50 situation. If the Ferdinand has dropped down, then he's going to be facing one of two ways. It's either going to be at Alex or where the Ferdinand, or up the hill towards the potential direction where Islander was coming from, and it was up the hill, and now there's no chance this Ferdinand is getting away, and that is the game. So that was an ace tanker for Alex in his T54E1. My bad with the screenshot, it didn't actually show the ace tanker there. But as you can see, that's 5,790 damage. I'm pretty sure that was the high caliber as well. And 4 kills, that gave him 1,355 base XP. And a little bit of a bug, either a little bit of a bug or he fired ammunition that he had extras of, so he didn't have to resupply very much. Because he made quite the profit for a tier 9 match. With his premium account, he made 75,000 credits. He spent 10,000 on repairing, and well, just over 10,000 repairing, which brought it down to 64,647. And that's pretty nice. That's without resupply or well, ammunition or consumable resupply, which suggests he had a lot of extra consumables in his armory, well, barracks, depot, whatever you want to call it, wherever you store them. I usually call it the depot myself, although the armory came out then because it is the option on the menu on World of Tanks for looking at what you've got stockpiled. And for ammunition, it looks like he had some extra ammunition stored up in his depot as well, because otherwise he might not have had, well, he might have had quite a bit higher expenditure on this vehicle this match, and he would have not made as much credit, as many credits as he did. In fact, I don't think he would have made a profit at all if he had any stored up in his depot. At least that's what this suggests on the results screen here. Although it could just be that when he uploaded it to what replays, it kind of bugged out and didn't calculate the expenditure on ammunition. As far as XP went, his 1,355 base XP was boosted to 2,033 by his premium account. He was also running personal reserves, which got him another 2,033. But the base XP of 2,033 for the premium account, that is, was multiplied by 5, and then had that extra 2,033 added, and then an extra 305 for playing in a platoon, for a grand total of 12,503 XP for the match, which is pretty crazy. I can't remember if he was grinding for the T57 Heavy or not, or just playing this tank just for the double. Well, in this case, 5 times. This was played a couple of weeks ago on the 5 times XP weekend, so he'll have been using that to grind towards something, I'm sure. And I'm pretty sure that would be the same for Fassive. I think, Fassive and Islander. I think Islander was grinding through the E50 to get the E50M, though I'm not sure, I'll have to ask. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this replay. It was always nice to get a new tank on the channel. I do like getting a huge variety of different tanks. It would be nice to get one of every tank in the game, but that's going to be very difficult to do. I mean, I'll be going through the ones that I've got for sure, and at least trying to put a couple of my own matches up here and there. And whenever I get sent some good replays, I will also put those up as well, such as this one. So very well done to Fassive, Islander, and of course the star of this replay, Alex, or AV Swag, doing really well in their top tier platoon, and basically carrying their match for their team. Don't think they would have had quite as good a chance to win this match if these 3 were not here. Anyway guys, that's all from me. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.